Hello. I am going through the craziest awakening. I want to share with you some big shifts that I noticed over the weekend. And this is just me reading the energy. Like, I typically read headlines, but I read the energy of those headlines. Or I will listen to a story and not really listen to the details of the story, but like read the energy of the story, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to tell you what I noticed energetically that were big shifts, because I know we talked about somewhere around March 15th, the Ides of March, and it's like huge shifts were happening. And so those shifts rarely are what people expect. So this is why in spirituality across the board, it's always the healthiest to drop all expectations and let things happen how they're going to happen. So I know there were a lot of people who heard, oh my God, big shift. That means he's going to be removed from office. I did not say that. That's not what I shared psychically. So I just want to make that clear. I said that I didn't know what it was, but it was really big. And so I'm curious to see how we as humanity respond to these things, because really the timeline is completely dependent on our free will as a collective and how we are responding to these things. So, but first, before I share that, this awakening, I'm very excited to share whatever new gifts are coming online that I'm going to have with you guys. Is going to be so exciting. I mean, I woke up from a nap in the middle of this awakening, one of those like coma naps that you like forcibly have to take during a spiritual awakening. And I woke up, my eyes were like next to this pillow. I have this decorative pillow with these stripes on it, and the lines are like, maybe this far apart. And I was blinking my eyes open, and in that like split second when I was blinking my eyes open, I saw matrix code, single file in between the lines, right? I saw that matrix code. And it's very interesting when you see the matrix code, because it looks like, it's so hard to explain. The lines continuously move from top to bottom, all of them at their own paces and speeds. But the symbols, there's like one singular symbol, it's a single file line, and the symbols are also morphing and shaping and changing into other things. And those symbols were like a golden, glowing, yellow, goldish kind of color. And it looked like elvish mixed with matrix looking code from like the movie The Matrix, and like something else I can't quite put my fingers on. So if you've ever seen it, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. And yes, I was sober. It was literally just waking up from a nap. But I bring that up because over the weekend, I let myself kind of zone out. And because when you zone out, you can get the greatest downloads because you have no resistance, right? That's why most people tend to get these random downloads when they're like folding laundry or driving down the highway that they've driven down a million times before. It's because you're just relaxed and you're not trying, right? We don't have to try to be spiritual. That's our base like vibration. That's our base existence. You don't have to try. When you try, you're removing yourself further from who you really are. You just have to relax and like, babe, sit back, let it come to you. So like when I'm meditating and I'm not getting an answer for anything, I literally breathe and I go and I lean back and I go, okay, you're right. I'm reaching, come to me. And then almost every time, boom, it comes right into me. Okay. So, the reason why I bring that up is because when I was zoning out over the weekend and just thinking about all this stuff, because the energy was really insane over the whole entire weekend. I mean, I was getting my butt kicked with the spiritual awakening, but it also was more than that. Like since I've cleared a whole bunch of shadows, I am very stable emotionally. I am able to look at things as an observer before I knee-jerk respond to things, right? So I don't knee-jerk respond to things anymore is what I'm trying to say. I'm able to look at a situation as neutral and then decide what meaning I want to put to it. That took a lot of practice and a lot of healing and becoming more my true self, right? But that is consistent for me. Over the weekend, really the 14th, 15th, 16th, those 3 days, I was feeling every emotion at the same time. It was really freaking bizarre. I was feeling, I don't know, anxiety, sadness, joy, elation, literally everything all wrapped into one. And I was trying to understand, right? What's going on with the energy? Why does it feel like this? Because it's like spaghetti, like it really is super weird for energy. So I relaxed my whole consciousness. It's like when you take your eyes and you kind of like relax them so they're not focused on anything. I did that with my consciousness. That's just zoning out, right? We've all done that. Everyone can do that. I'm sure you've done it already today. You just zoned out. So I zoned out my whole consciousness and just relaxed, and I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't asking for anything. My intention was to just understand, but in a very general, broad sense. And when I relaxed, I saw that same matrix code, again, very sober, sober the whole time, you guys. I relaxed and I saw that matrix code, but instead of being in those beautiful, neat lines, it was like all twisted, and it was spaghetti. It looked like a plate of spaghetti almost, but like up in the air. And I saw it really not about anything in particular, because I don't think that the details matter. It's all twisted and it's all convoluted and it's all connected. And I go, oh, okay, so it's not just me. This morning, I woke up at 2 a.m. I don't do that. I mean, since the 4 a.m. club, you know, all those shenanigans have been going on, yeah, occasionally, but like 2 a.m. and I was awake for 2 solid hours. All of my tricks to go back to sleep didn't work. And I used to be a night shift ICU nurse. Like, I got tricks up my sleeve to fall back asleep, and nothing was working. I meditated. I even put on noise canceling headphones. I like got up, moved my body around, went to the bathroom, the whole thing, laid back down. 2 solid hours. It was about 2 hours and 15 minutes actually, before I was able to finally go, oh, now I feel the sweet release of sleep, right? That was really wild for me. Also, my entire family went to bed super early last night. It was about 10 p.m. We usually go to bed, 11. The teenagers tend to go to bed maybe 11:30, just depending on what's going on. And my oldest, who's the most notorious for staying up way too late on a school night, at 9:30, he said, Mom, I'm going to bed. I'm exhausted. And I go, you know what? That sounds great. 30 minutes later, my other kid, I'm going to bed, which is 30 minutes before his bedtime. Okay, great. I go, I'm going to follow suit and I'm going to go to bed. We all passed out early, but at 2 a.m., I woke up. That's not enough hours of sleep. So that was very confusing and weird. And so I felt the energy. It just felt like I was on a roller coaster, like that feeling in your stomach where you're going up. So anyway, it's wonky right now. It's not just you, but I want to share with you these things that I noticed energetically that are the big ones over the weekend. Okay. These are the energetic going, holy crap, something big has shifted. It's like a huge shift. That's all I'm talking about here are the things that I noticed as someone who can read energy going, oh my God, that leapt from one side of the fence to the freaking other just instantaneously. I made notes. The protesters, they're increasing. Keep it up, right? Because it not only lets them know we are not standing for this, but it lets other people know that, hey, we're not alone. And it's not being covered by mainstream media, because obviously I don't even need to explain why that's not being shown here. But those protests, keep it up. They were freaking everywhere. They were in small towns. They were in big cities. I mean, they were everywhere. It was so great. Also, it was really hard to find those. I went searching for them to try to make a montage. It's really hard to find those protests because, suppression. Republicans are now standing up against the representatives. That is a new thing that's happening. They are standing up and saying, you are not fighting for me. You don't care about me at all. And that was not a thing that we have seen Republicans do before in a very vocal way. Town halls are fully booked. I mean, people standing outside, standing room only. People can't even get in because they're fully booked. That's a new thing. Also, Republican representatives are no-showing some of these town halls. Like just a few that I saw, but they're no-showing the town halls. I tried to go back and find the videos and they're like lost forever in the ether. So if you know where that happened, please put it in the comments so we can see. But yeah, they schedule these town halls and they're no-showing. That's literally taxation without representation. So that's a big shift from one side to the other, okay? Judges are now responding faster. They are responding to these things a lot faster than they were before, within hours instead of days. That's a big shift. Also, the Trump clump ignoring judges' orders and bragging about it after. Like the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, confirmed that, the judge did say that we weren't allowed to do that anymore, but he didn't say in the written order that we had to turn the plane around when he said in the verbal order. This is about the undocumented people and some documented people actually being sent on a plane to Venezuela. That's what that's about. They said, and I quote, the Trump clump, the order had no lawful basis. and federal courts have no jurisdiction over the president's foreign affairs. That's simply not true. So that's huge. That's literally treason. Also, a French parliament member asked for the return of the Statue of Liberty, and I think that's really amazing. So anyway, let me know what else you noticed, but that's what I noticed. Huge energetic shifts, and I'm really excited to see what we all do with it.